What up, y'all? It's your man Abuamerican, and I am back. Yeah, I'm still mining. Didn't give up. So, I got this thing finally stable. Please forgive my wire management. I had to tear this whole thing apart. I have a GPU missing. I'll explain all of that. I have a problem. I had to put in a new fan here and everything. I got a funny story about that, but I'll try and make this quick as possible. So, for all you miners out there, you're gonna laugh. But yes, I am gonna fix my wire management. It was beautiful before, until I had to take everything apart again so that I could put everything back together. And I'm not putting it back together because I have a new GPU coming for here after I sent that one back. So anyway, back to the story and back to my question. I have a question. Yes, and I'm in a bathroom. This is the coldest room in the house. It's like ice. It's like a refrigerator in here. But now it's nice and balmy warm, like I'm on a Caribbean island, because these things are, running at roughly like 50 degrees Celsius. The cards. So here's my problem. System was unstable in Windows. I switched over to HiveOS, which I have. Actually, I have two hard drives back there. That's a HiveOS hard drive, and the Windows hard drive is down here somewhere. You can't even see it. What, did it fall down? Oh yeah, there's the Windows hard drive hanging down there. That's not good. I need to hook that back up and put it there, because I don't think I'm going to switch back to HiveOS. And I'll explain why. HiveOS is good. It's very stable. But what happens with HiveOS is, and like you'll see here, or the opposite, I have a lot of, stale shares. And I have not a lot, but a higher percentage of rejected shares. This has been running 24 hours. I know it says 1 hour and 58 minutes, but what happens is at 24 hours, the clock resets, as does the share amount. So as we see here, in 1 hour, we got like 623 shares, 0 stales, rejected 1. On HiveOS, this was significantly higher, in the same amount of time. And I wasn't getting as much hash, I wasn't getting as much shares, and the hash rate was lower. And the power consumption was all over the place. This has been pretty standard. It's higher than I want it to be. That I'll give HiveOS. Power consumption was lower. Temperatures were slightly lower. Most of them were running in the 40s. But really, I have slightly higher hash rate, and then, of course, I have a higher share count. Now, here's the problem with Windows, and I'm running phoenixminer here, is GPU 5 in this position here. Now, as we know, GPU 5 can be very random in terms of which GPU it is here. Although I have my GPUs numbered, 1 through 5, or 1 through 8, basically, starts off as 0, because that's PCIe slot 0, down to PCIe slot number 7, but it's actually 8 cards. But on here, number 5 could be 1, then you restart the miner, and number 5 could be number 4, then number 5 could be 0. It's very random. Then to top it off, when we go into Adrenaline, slot number 5 could be as random here also. So we know that in phoenixminer, sometimes this could be number 5, sometimes this could be number 5. It depends on when you start the miner, and it goes crazy. But here comes the problem now. Every single time, without fail, when the miner crashes, it's an error on GPU number 5. Now, that can't be an accident. Although the crash in terms of the GPU is random, both in Adrenaline and here. So the only consistency that I'm having in terms of an error is GPU 5 in Phoenix. And I don't know why. Now, I think I narrowed it down to what the problem is to top it off. What happens is in GPU 5 is the fan profile, it resets by itself, and you can't name it when. So you can't name when. So what happens is when you switch here, this fan profile just drops down here, and then what happens is the temperature shoots up 90 degrees Celsius. Then phoenixminer, with its safeties in place, it shuts down that miner. When that one miner shuts down, it tries to restart it, and then the entire miner crashes, and I have to restart all of Windows. I just happened to catch it like 5 minutes ago. And I was like, so this is why it's always number 5, and this is always what happens. Because I always notice when I go back and I start loading my presets, because now I have my profiles preset. So what happens is when I load my profile presets, I noticed, warning, unable, I didn't want to do that, whatever. I noticed that one GPU, it might be 7, like last time it was 7. This is when I caught it. I caught it when it was 7 and I loaded it in time. It was up to 89 Celsius. I reloaded the profile and boom, the temperature dropped immediately. So it's on its way to a crash, and this usually happens every day within a within the 24-hour period. I just happened to catch it today. Yesterday I didn't catch it. I saw it real time happen, and I was on TeamViewer, and I was trying to rectify it from my phone, but I couldn't. So whatever the case may be, I don't know what it is. Position number 5 in Phoenix always crashes, but position number 5 obviously is a random card. You know, if I restart this miner, I know now that GPU 5 is GPU 7. It's number 6 right now. I know that. But tomorrow, if I restart the miner, if I stop it when I get this card, because this card's supposed to show up tomorrow when I stop it and I restart it, GPU 5 might be number 2. It might be number 8. It might be the new card. I don't know. So number 5 is going to crash no matter what. I know without fail, if I look for a problem, it's going to be number 5. Now the question is, why is that happening? I don't understand that. It just doesn't make sense. So, I don't know. Funny story. I changed my fan. I just wanted a little pretty, glowing fan. And it's a bigger one than the original factory fan. That's like right here, collecting dust. This is the original one that came with the, Intel processor. As you can see, very big difference in size. And thus cooling ability. Because I have some ASIC miners on the way, and they're going to run off of this PC also, so the CPU is going to be worked a little bit more. I'm just going to put them all here. I'm going to put my 1000 watt my 1000 watt power supply here, plug some in here, plug some in here. They really don't take a lot of wattage, so it's going to be some ASIC miners that go inside there, and it's going to run off of this, so it's going to run everything. So if this crashes, then everything crashes basically. But anyway, I had some I had that cooling component that you're supposed to put on here. Here's the funny thing. This is, what this is? This isn't that cooling component. This is blade sharpening cream. The tube looks exactly the same as the tube for the stuff that you put on here to like transfer heat, from the CPU to the fan and to this aluminum cooling block. Looks exactly the same. And I got the two mixed up, and this is actually knife sharpening paste. I have the right stuff on this one. It's just a goofy story. This one right here, saying I was going to tell you, what happened was, apparently, now I flashed the BIOS on all these cards. I was advised not to, but it actually turned out to be more conducive to stability than not. These are the ASUS Duos, the RX 5700 Duos, and, dual, and we are told by Mining Chamber not to get them, because they have heat problems, and these things do let off a large amount of heat. That's why it's in this room. It's nice and cool. You can see the toilet paper moving. There's a breeze that always comes in this room, because usually it smells because we don't use this toilet, and so when that dries out, it stinks. So I just come in there and flush it every once in a while. So anyway, we leave the window open because of the smell, because we never use this toilet, and it's nice and cool in here. Anywho, why did that come into the story? Anywho, this card right here would not flash. And it turns out there's a card that's called low bin. So it's just like a lower, version of all of these. It's just like, it's the one that was made on Friday when the guy was trying to get home from work, and it turned out crappy. So no matter how many times I tried to flash the BIOS, it wouldn't stick. Sent it back. They took it back. And I actually got a Nitro Express Special Edition. It's got like a memory clock of like over 2 gigahertz. These are like 1.8. So hopefully this one's going to perform better, but it is going to be a Frankenstein one, because there's going to be this one here that's like completely LED'd out, and it's got 3 fans instead of 2, like this one, like these ones. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my next rig, which I'm working on after I get my ASIC miners. I'm going to make the next rig all of these Nitro, the RX 5700 Nitros. And so my next rig, it's going to go up. I don't know if I'm going to put up here. The heat's high in here, but I'm building a shelving system. Because you can see, it's like, I just put it up on this little thing I have for my shoes, shoe rack. And so I'm just going to build a shelving system. Put the next one up here. Have the ASIC miners down on the bottom. Boom. Yeah. So just some stuff you need to know about flashing your BIOS. Some cards aren't going to take it, even though they're exactly the same. I even looked at the memory clock speed, because if you look when you're shopping, it'll tell you if the memory clock speed is different. And some of them are like 1400, some of them are 1600, some of them are 1800. So I made sure to buy each and every one as an 1800. So I don't know what happened there. The next one is coming is like 2014 or something like this. Not the year. Yeah. So just some stuff to remember. Let me fix my hard drive down here. I don't want anything bad to happen. Get back up here. Just put that there. I don't need to reattach that when the card comes. I want to take that out and I'll reattach it properly. But anyway, yeah, that's how the mining's going right now, guys. This is the longest stint I've ever had on Windows. It crashes because number 5. If someone has an explanation as to why in Phoenix GPU 5 is always the one that crashes, it's definitely Phoenix causing it. It's not here. It's here. And I don't know why. So if you guys can help me out, if anybody out there knows the answer to that one, let me know so I can get it fixed. This has been running like 24 hours and, well, 26 hours and 7 minutes. It's the longest I've ever had on Windows. On HiveOS, it'll just run and run and run and run and run. It'll never crash. But then, again, I get a lower hash rate, slightly lower power consumption, and I get a lot higher stales and rejected shares. So, yeah, mine on Windows, guys. You just make more money. Anyway, this is your man Abuamerican talking about that mining stuff. I'm out.